multi-city raids that are currently underway in the coal-bound state of Uttar Pradesh. We are now getting the first response of the Samajwadi Party, where the Samajwadi Party has attacked the BJP, saying that the Saffron Party's fear and anger is clear. Ahead of the Uttar Pradesh elections, more perfume traders are now under the IT scanner. Those tweets, in fact, are on your screen right now, viewers, and the IT raids are currently underway at the SP MLC Pushparaj Jain's perfume business premises. And another perfume trader, Malik Mian, is also being raided by the Income Tax Department, and multi-city raids are currently underway in Kanpur, Kannauj and Noida. We have seen the major crackdown that the UP machinery is carrying out on tax evasion and corruption, from starting with Piyush Jain, and we have seen how one after the other his aides, in fact, had also been raided upon, and a political connection now becoming more and more clear with Samajwadi Party's MLC Pushparaj Jain perfume business premises also being raided upon by the authorities. And now we have the first response of the Samajwadi Party claiming that this is the frustration of the BJP, again talking about a conspiracy angle and saying that it is the BJP who is systematically attacking the Samajwadi Party once again before the UP elections. And that is the tweet that you have on our screen right now, viewers, where the Samajwadi Party has claimed that it is the fear and frustration of the BJP. And now for more details on this, let me go across to my colleague Ananya, who's joining us on the broadcast once again. Ananya, we had been talking just a few minutes back how there might be a political angle to it, and now we have the first response of the Samajwadi Party claiming that it is the BJP who is showing their frustration via these raids.
Well, yes, Priyanka, as I pointed out to you in the last time we were explaining these raids, and now even Shravan was pointing out, we have the first reaction coming in from the Samajwadi Party with regards to what has happened in Kannauj, what is happening in Noida and also in Kanpur, these multi-city raids. And remember that the IT department has in fact broadened its probe, I would say, because the DGGI has a smaller jurisdiction. The Directorate of GST Intelligence has a very peculiar and smaller jurisdiction. However, the IT department's ambit is wider in nature, and now these multi-city raids being carried out at the premises of SPMLC, and this is happening just, in fact, days after Piyush Jain was raided, and this was from that input itself during the interrogation of Piyush Jain, that certain inputs were received by the IT department from the DGGI, following which these raids are continuing. And it would be very, very peculiar, in fact, Priyanka, to see as to what comes out into these raids, and if at all there are any recoveries or any signs of tax evasions that the IT department finds out. Priyanka.
Well, yes, Ananya, those visuals of the raids, in fact, are on our screens right now, where the multi-city raids in Kanpur, Kannauj and Noida are being carried out, and the SP MLC Pushparaj Jain's business premises also under raids, and now Malik Mian also being raided upon by the IT department. And as Ananya was pointing out, that it is the IT department who will be investigating into this entire matter, and unaccounted cash, Ananya, also coming out in these multi-city raids, multiple raids on people that is being carried out in the state. So this connection, in fact, this being a talking point for the elections, also cannot be denied.
So clearly,
now, before I go to Ananya, let me also bring in my colleague Shravan, who's joining us on the broadcast once again. Shravan, now we have the first reaction of the Samajwadi Party saying that it is the BJP showing its frustration. Why are these raids that are being carried out in multiple cities of Kanpur, Kannauj and Noida, Shravan?
Well, in fact, Priyanka, as we were discussing in the earlier broadcast, that this is undoubtedly going to take a political turn. But let me just stick to the facts as of now, that will come to the political aspect of this entire story. As far as the searches are concerned, let's just put this into perspective. It all started with the DGGI carrying out the searches It is during the interrogation of Piyush Jain when certain inputs were basically provided to DGGI with regards to other perfume manufacturers. The specific question, Priyanka, that was asked by the DGGI to Piyush Jain was about the fact that there were certain supplies that were being made from firms that have been linked to Piyush Jain worth about 177.45 crore rupees. A question then was asked to Piyush Jain to explain who are these suppliers and what were they giving in return, whether at all this was the cash that he was receiving from the suppliers. In response, Piyush Jain essentially said that he does not remember the names of those who were part of this entire supply chain. In fact, now we are given to understand that this is a larger nexus that is basically evolved. It is not only Piyush Jain, but there are several other perfume manufacturers who are basically sending out materials out of India to UAE as well as to Singapore. And in return, there were certain undeclared items that were basically coming in. The DGGI has been able to establish the fact that there have been gold exchange that has taken place. That is the reason why a seizure of 23 to 24 kilograms of gold has already taken place and DRI has already been brought into the picture. As far as the Income Tax Department is concerned, Income Tax Department is now looking at who are the other suppliers in this entire chain. And more importantly, was it only perfume materials that were basically being sent out? And whether at all tax was being evaded while this process was taking place. Because what is happening here is that fake invoices are being raised. These fake invoices are being raised to dodge the investigative agencies. And we are being told that there are fictitious companies that have basically come into the picture. Whether at all there is a political backing or not, that is going to be part of a larger investigation that is going to take place. But a quick word as far as the political angle is concerned, you've already had the Samajwadi Party reacting on this entire matter. This is undoubtedly going to become much bigger in the hours to come.
Absolutely, Shravan. And what you're pointing out is the bigger nexus that might also be under the radar of the authorities. For the moment, I want to thank both Shravan and Ananya for joining us on this broadcast.